and welcome to the 2019 season preview of the Cadets. The Cadets hail from Allentown, Pennsylvania. They're a 10-time Drum Corps International World Champion. They've been a DCI finalist every year since 1980. Last season, 2018, 7th place, 92.225. Their final score in finals in August. So this season, the Cadets look to have a successful year, maybe jumping back in the top 6 after a few years out. They kick off their season when DCI kicks off their season June 20th with the DCI tour premiere in Detroit, Michigan. You can watch that at movie theaters nationwide. Go to fathomevents.com to find your local theater. June 22nd, Innovations in Brass Massillon in Massillon, Ohio, Bluecoats Home Show. That one you can catch live on Flow Marching. Then the Cadets will continue throughout kind of like the Midwest of Indiana, Ohio, then come back east to Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh on the 26th, and then come to their home show in Allentown on June 28th. Go up to Lawrence, Massachusetts to end out June. Then July begins with the Bean Pot in Lynn, Massachusetts, and then July 2nd, Drum Corps and American Tradition at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Definitely going to be a fun event there. Drum Corps at MetLife Stadium, those sound like a great combination. So once the Cadets are done in the East with that MetLife Stadium show, they will head out to the Midwest. July 5th, Cavalcade of Brass in Lisle, Illinois, the Cavaliers' home show. Then they'll head to Whitewater, Wisconsin. And then on July 7th, first premiere event of the season, DCI Menominee in Menominee, Wisconsin. That show is what has been DCI Minneapolis in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Really just the financial impact of TCF Bank Stadium on DCI really is just not logical. I mean, it's not that DCI couldn't afford that if they needed to, but really just the fact of having just about 10 world-class corps there when it used to be more like 20 or 15, 20, where that used to be really premier event. Now it's kind of just another DCI-sponsored show. So moving it to one of the University of Wisconsin campuses is definitely more logical than going to the University of Minnesota and having that smaller show than it has been at a big stadium. Then they'll head to Iowa, DCI Morningside, Sioux City, Iowa. Cadets really got an interesting tour schedule this year. I like it because they're heading all the way from New York City, MetLife Stadium, seeing like the Bluecoats, Boston Crusaders. They won't see them again until about July 15th, 16th because really those corps go down south and really they don't really see them again until mid-July. So really, the Cadets will get a variety of corps to compete against, and it will be definitely interesting to analyze how they fare against different corps. And it'll be probably the Cadets will probably be one of the corps this summer that have the most they're the easiest to analyze. They will be against almost every corps by that Drums Along the Rocky show in Denver on July 13th. Speaking of that show, they will go from Sioux City, Iowa to Casper, Wyoming, and then Denver, Colorado. And then July 15th, Drums Across Kansas and El Dorado, Kansas. Then they'll head into Texas tour in Oklahoma, DCI Broken Arrow. And then the 3 or 4 Texas shows, Denton, Texas, Katy, Texas, and the first regional of the season, the DCI Southwestern Championship in San Antonio, Texas on July 20th. Then, to wrap up their season, July 22nd, they will go over to Louisiana, Lafayette for Drums Across Cajun Field. July 24th, 26th, they've got more shows in Mississippi and Tennessee. Then that second regional event, July 27th in Atlanta, Georgia, the DCI Southeastern Championship. Then they'll head up to Winston-Salem, North Carolina on July 28th for Night Beat, Carolina Crown's second home show. Then the Cadets will host two shows of their own. July 30th, Drum Corps American Tradition Annapolis Edition in Annapolis, Maryland, Navy Marine Corps Stadium. And then July 31st, Tour of Champions Chester at Talent Energy Stadium in Chester, Pennsylvania. Then they have a few days off. So look between August 1st and 2nd. They get those 2 days off. It'll be interesting to see if they kind of add those last-minute things in there, because really there's no big gaps in this schedule. They're always either traveling or they have like show upon show. So it'll be very interesting to see if August 1st, 2nd, beginning of August, maybe they add a closer or add a part of their ballad or something. It'll be interesting to see additions before the DCI Eastern Classic on August 3rd in Allentown. Then they'll go out to Indianapolis, stop August 5th in Edinburgh, Pennsylvania for the Lake Erie Fanfare, and then August 8th through the 10th, the DCI World Championship in Indianapolis, Indiana. So the 2019 drum majors for the Cadets, Lauren Gregory, she lives in Houston, Texas. This is her second year as the drum major for the Cadets. She's a business major at the University of Houston, Clear Lake, and works with several high school band programs in Texas. Daniel Regalado, this is his 6th year with one of the cadet programs, the Cadets and the Cadets 2. He's a music education major at the University of North Texas. And finally, Chris Martinez. He is a saxophonist and music education major at Texas State University. He teaches on the staff of the James Bowie High School Outdoor Performance Ensemble from Texas, one of of course, a huge amount of great Texas band programs, one of the best, a consistent Bands of America regional and super regional finalist. He was also the drum major for Genesis back in 2017, took a year off from the activity, and now comes back in 2019 with the Cadets. So the 2019 main staff for the Cadets. I'll run through this list and highlight a few people on here. So these guys here are the ones that are going to be making the big design team decisions this year and the instructional staff decisions as well. So first, Scott Litzenberg, the corps director. He retired in 2018 after 34 years of teaching high school band in Pennsylvania. Most notably at Unionville High School. He taught the jazz band, marching band, indoor percussion. He really kind of just looked over all of those things. He's past director of the Crossman Drum and Bugle Corps and is a past member of the DCI Board of Directors. Tom Ungst, he's the program facilitator and the battery designer for the Cadets this summer. Jersey Ungst, she's the program coordinator. She's the one writing the show that has the most notable vision of what the 2019 production will feature. Drew Shanefield, he will act as brass arranger and music coordinator this summer for the Cadets. He has worked with a bunch of different programs, the Cavaliers, the Bluecoats, the Cadets, Carolina Crown, the Crossmen, bunch of different corps. He's also been an instrumental music teacher in the Haverford Township School District in Pennsylvania. Omar Carmenates is a front ensemble arranger for the Cadets. Neil Larrabee is front ensemble facilitator for the Cadets this summer. He's vice president of drumstick and mallet innovation for the Avitas Zildjian Corporation and Vic Firth. He's been an integral part of Vic Firth's growth as a powerhouse in the marching band industry. He's now back with the Cadets. He was previously with King Philip Regional High School in Massachusetts when they were one of the best bands in both the Northeast and the nation. He also was with the Blue Stars between 2010 and 2012. Brandon Carita is an audio arranger for the Cadets. Bobby Jones, visual designer this summer, drill designer. He worked with the Crossmen back in 2006, Hawthorne Caballeros, DCA Corps, make that in 2007. He's also the current program coordinator with the Reading Buccaneers, the drum corps associates powerhouse they are. He also works as a freelance adjudicator all throughout the marching arts. And finally, Adam Sage will be color guard designer and visual coordinator for the Cadets this summer. This is his second season in the position, or make that his first season in the position at the Cadets. He's worked with many high schools, including Tarpon Springs High School in Florida, the Cavaliers, Phantom Regiment, Santa Clara Vanguard, among others. He was with Santa Clara Vanguard last season for their awesome championship season. As a designer and choreographer for the East Coweta Winter Guard in Georgia, the Yokohama Scouts Drum and Bugle Corps in Japan, Jupiter High School in Florida, Stoneman Douglas Winter Guard in Florida, South Florida Independent in Florida, a bunch of different groups in the marching arts, most notably the artistic director and color guard co-director at Park Vista High School, kind of one of those up-and-coming band programs in the nation. He also works with the Trippers. This is his second season there. Other main staff this season for the Cadets: Brandon Hill, the brass caption manager; Jacob Gall, battery caption manager. This is his 11th year as a cadet instructor. He's the director of percussion for Wakeland High School, Griffin Middle School, and Cobb Middle School, all of those being in Texas. His whole family has been involved in music throughout his life. TJ Goss, the assistant battery caption manager, so Jacob Gall's assistant. This is TJ Goss's first season with the Cadets. He has worked with the Crossmen in 2016 and then Madison Scouts in 2017 and 2018. He performed with both the Bluecoats and Rhythm X. He works with many high school programs in Texas, many successful ones at that. Lee Bettis, the battery facilitator for the Corps this summer. Luis Rivera Carrero is the front ensemble caption manager. Sam Watson, the color guard caption manager for the Cadets. He works very closely with the Carmel High School color guard program, Carmel being probably debatable at that, but probably the best high school band program in the nation, winning 3 consecutive Bands of America Grand National Championships, which really is unheard of. This is his second year as the caption manager for the Cadets. He aged out as a cadet when he marched. Christy Hobby, color guard assistant caption manager. Chris Johnston, he is the visual caption manager for the Cadets this summer. He's a music teacher at Joe Burns Elementary School in Cedar Hill, Tennessee. He marched Memphis Sound and Phantom Regiment, including 2008 when they won the DCI World Championship. He has worked with many other WGI and ECI programs as well. And finally, Dustin Del Moro. He's an assistant visual caption manager. He was a lead trumpet at Carolina Crown from 2005 to 2009. He's gone with Chris Johnston to the Colts and Audio Theater, WGI group, among other groups that they've worked with together. He's a full-time designer outside of drum corps. He also plays many other roles, visual designer and a bunch of other stuff with band programs and winter ensembles. So the 2019 spring training for the Cadets, they will move in May 17th at Salem High School in Salem, New Jersey. Stay there May 17th to the 19th. Then really start spring training May 20th to the 31st at Camp Saginaw in Oxford, Pennsylvania in Chester County. And then June 1st to the 19th, the Cadets will be out at Ohio Northern University in Ada, Ohio, where they've been the past few years before going to the DCI tour premiere on June 20th. So the Cadets 2019 production is entitled Behold. It is a story of power and equality as they describe it on their website. Quote, the show illuminates the struggle to attain power, keep power, and ultimately the power of equality, close quote. Really what this show is exploring is diversity of lots of different things, explores women leaders of the past and of the future. So really this show here is definitely going to be an interesting one to see what comes of it, because I mean, just looking at this design here, you can tell it's kind of moving that next step forward for the Cadets. And it'll be very interesting to see how this show does this summer, and maybe even getting back into the top 6, which I think would definitely be a Cadets' #1 goal. And then obviously other goals as being like, make sure you make finals and then other things. But I think that if you've seen videos of the Corps, I know they have some online, that it definitely seems like the Cadets are back this summer, and there's definitely Corps in that top 6. Cavaliers really being the one that comes to mind, and maybe even Carolina Crown or the Bluecoats, that I can really see maybe the Cadets, if they come out flying this year and they're really strong, they could definitely jump back in the top 6. So the 2019 repertoire, the other part of the show announcement of Behold, Fanfare for the Women by Libby Larson, Just by David Lang, Blueprint by Caroline Shaw, Dance 1 of the Estancia Orchestral Suite by Alberto Ginastera, Bridge Over Troubled Water by Paul Simon, Do Better, an original piece by Tom Ungst, Omar Carmenetes, and Brandon Carita. That piece there, what they detail that as is kind of the musical version of Whatever You Do, I Can Do Better, which is what their concept is behind that piece. And then the closer for the Corps this summer will be the 4th Symphony by David Maslanka. If you want to hear what that looks like or sounds like, either Google on YouTube that piece, just that, or the Running Buccaneers did do a very good job of portraying that last season. I haven't listened to that yet, but I would plan on listening to that to know that this piece. I know that one, though, because I've listened to the original one, I know that one is definitely a piece that will play well for the Cadets this summer. So a few things before I close here with the Cadets 2019 season preview. Make sure to visit drumcorpscentral.weebly.com for latest updates from the DCI and DCA summer tours. Make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DrumCorpsGeek, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at DrumCorpsCentral. Thank you for watching, and have a nice rest of your day.